Hello. It is 12:30 a.m. Yay. I don't know what I'm gonna do tonight. I have soup. I want to eat soup. I'm gonna do that. I want to eat my soup. Hi, Neil. He's staring at me. He's just staring at me. The dumbass. I love you. Sitting on his cap. Okay, I have to show you this. It's so cute. Look at that. Look at him. He's just staring at me. He's just like, hi. I love him. I bashed my toe against a wooden box a minute or so ago. Yeah, probably 2 minutes ago. Soup. Spoon. My coworker gave me this bowl of soup because she didn't want to have to deal with it. She wanted to the container that the soup was in. So she said, "Do you want the rest of this chicken noodle soup? Because I like chicken noodle soup." And it just says Nat, take me. She's great. I love her so much. So now I've got my soup. I've got my cat, and I have some trumpets in the corner that I can clean tonight. Because last night I was cleaning my clarinet, and what else was I cleaning? I was ironing things. That's what I was doing last night. Yo! Oh, I haven't talked to you in forever, Irene. How you doing? Fantastic. Do you want to see Milo? Okay. Look at him. He's just taking his head off his cat post, and he's just like, I'm just gonna chill here and watch you stream like you've been doing for like every night for like the past week. He's too cute for words. I love him too much. But he's such a dumbass. I know. I go to work for several hours and I come back and I talk to myself in front of my laptop for like 2 hours. I don't need better hobbies. Stop telling me what to do. Okay. Yeah. I've got it's my brother's old trumpets in the corners. See. Set to I love my cat so much, but he's a dumbass. Or that I talk to myself in front. I finally finished Lucifer season 4. Finally. After literally months of avoiding watching Lucifer for absolutely no reason, I finally finished season 4. Now I gotta watch season 5. But I'm so upset that I did not continue watching Lucifer season 4 earlier because it ended so good. Netflix? used to be bad with making shows, but they got a lot better. And they knew what to do with Lucifer. They were like, let's not fuck this up or else somebody will get very mad. I have a lot of series I gotta catch up on. Umbrella Academy, Supernatural, Doctor Who. I wish I could say Sherlock or Merlin, but actually, no, I have to say Merlin. I haven't finished that one yet. I'm on season 1 of Merlin. And my aunt absolutely loves Merlin. She's very upset I have not finished watching Merlin yet. I really, really love chicken noodle soup. I brought up to my coworker, who we will call Lanch. I gave all my coworkers nicknames today, so now I can successfully use their nicknames when talking about them. I was talking to my coworker Lanch the other night, and Steve, I get it, Steve. I think I actually talked about you on a stream. I think it might have been last night or the night before. Well, not the night before. I didn't stream the night before. Either a late night stream 3 or 4. I mentioned you. I said Steve. But I was talking to my coworker Lance about how much I love chicken noodle soup, and I was like, "Can you die from eating too much soup?" And he gave me a weird look. And the next day, I was talking. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I found out that you can't technically die from eating too much soup, but you can die from too much salt intake, and there is salt in soup. So technically, I could die from eating soup." And he gave me a weird look, and I'm like, "Don't worry, I'd have to eat like 4 gallons of soup to die from eating soup." So I should be fine because I'd probably throw up before eating 4 gallons of chicken noodle soup. Who can eat 4 gallons of chicken noodle soup? Actually, no, that's a good question. Who can eat 4 gallons of chicken noodle soup? I want to know. Can anyone eat 4 gallons? More than a gallon of soup at a time. I said 4 gallons of soup like in an afternoon. Tea. Slightly better. Why must I have bad Wi-Fi in the corner of my area? Hi, Milo. I mean, if I'm determined and haven't eaten all day, possibly I could. But if you're stating if a human being can eat that much soup, then I wouldn't doubt it. Like, I tried to Google how much soup does it take to kill a man, and I just got about salt intake. I want to know what the record for soup eaten at one time is. I want to know what I have to beat, okay? I want to know how much soup I have to eat before I can earn a Guinness World Record from eating so much soup. What store are you in? I'm at the soup store. Like, that video would become my reality. Like, where are you? I'm at soup. What do you mean you're at soup? I mean, I'm at soup. Well, what's on? What's where are you? What's in that aisle? There's just soup. Go into the next aisle. There's still more soup. That would basically be me if I tried to eat too much soup. And on the subject of the soup story, I would be the soup store. The one at the dance at school. Was I wearing a white shirt in that one? Was that the dance that I won that award? That was the first time anyone ever told me that I could dance really well. No one ever told me that I could dance until that night. So I really like that video too because it holds a lot of memories. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that was a big catalyst moment in my life. That dance that I vlogged. Because I think that might have been the first time somebody told me that I can do something without like prior knowledge that I could do something. I kind of miss school. Well, that's why I went into college. I was like, I'm not ready to leave school yet. So yeah, I decided to go into college because I just wasn't ready. I'm like, I don't want to be an adult yet. I have to continue school. Meanwhile, there's people in my class who are like in their 20s who are like, I wanted to wait a while before school. Steve, listen. As I said, I think I mentioned you as Steve in a prior live stream. In a video. It was one of my first vlogs I did. I did mention that, this is what should I call you? And you're like, Steve, and I'm like, Steve, okay, let's go. This is Steve. Okay. Sure thing. Steve. Yeah. I understand why, I understand why you didn't at the time, though, want me to use your name. My mom was very upset with me telling people, like, on the internet randomly, what's my date of birth and how old I am. And I'm like, that's going to become public knowledge anyway. I might as well just tell people. But I can understand why other people would see sharing information such as names and birth dates as not great. That was actually a 20 facts about me video that I filmed on New Year's. I miss you too. We should totally hang out whenever I stop by. I come by occasionally to get my braces adjusted, and I keep wanting before I before quarantine. Sorry. I'm sorry. I barely tell anyone when I come up now. And I don't know why. I do this thing, it's a stupid thing where I distance myself from people that I shouldn't distance myself from because I'm just a fucking idiot. It's not even a conscious thing. It's just subconsciously I just kind of stop talking to people. Yeah. It's weird because a lot of people in our friend group do that. I think Kat still talks to Taylor, but I don't know if Taylor talks to anyone else. Like, I still hear about her occasionally from TikTok and Instagram. Definitely. I need to talk to her more. I haven't talked to her basically since we left. And when I say we, I mean she went off to her university and I went off to my college. And we did that trip together that you didn't go on. We ended up staying an extra day on that trip. We talked Serena into canceling. But I should talk to you guys more. My therapist would think it's an improvement. Call? Wait a second. Am I not remembering things correctly again? Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. For a second, I was like, were you on the trip? And I just completely forgot. Yeah. Yeah, we FaceTimed you. I remember that now. Was that the night we got drunk? I don't know. We got very drunk. A lot of things happened. Hmm. See. Hmm. I'm trying to think if there's anything new in my life. Well, I've talked about this on streams before, but you haven't, I don't think, tuned in for those streams. I'm seeing a therapist now. I'm dealing with emotional issues and trauma. I realized that my parents' divorce had a lot more drastic problems on me than I originally thought. That now include panic attacks and a lot of other accounts that go. Seeing the therapist itself. So just in general. The therapy is going okay. We're talking about stress and like how it affects me and how I manage it and stuff. Because up until recently, I didn't have a lot of ways to manage my stress, and I just kind of only did work and school. The trauma and emotional issues. Hi, Mila. That's another issue. I have come to the conclusion that whenever I get angry, and whenever I hear somebody else being angry, I have a panic attack. Milo, stop playing with my headphones, or I will throw them at your face. Which probably won't help my situation, but they're not your headphones, okay? So that's an issue slightly with acting. If I get angry or somebody else acts angry enough, then it'll cause me to panic because my brain just goes, that's not great, and I start to panic and having a panic attack. So that's that. But I'm learning how to deal with it. And then there's more stress things popping up that are big issues. Stuff that I don't want to talk about over a live stream because anyone can go back and watch these. So if you want to know more about those issues, let's see. I'm watching Lucifer tomorrow. I'm Monday free. You doing anything Monday? Great. I'll probably end up sleeping until 10:30 or 9, then doing dishes. then going out shopping, and then I'm free in the afternoon. So maybe I'll call you, maybe even when I'm walking, and I'll tell you about those issues. Morning or afternoon, by the way, when you work. Oh, you start work at 1, okay. Yeah, I can call you before 1. Probably call you before 12. Great. Let's see. What else has been going on? I think I'm a lot less depressed than I was before I moved. Because quarantine didn't help much in my emotional department. It helped a lot with my how much money I was making. I earned a lot more money during quarantine because I was doing nothing else, and my boss was like, "Hey, work," and I was like, "Okay." But it wasn't great for my emotional issues because it started to stress me out too much, and that caused a lot of issues. Full time at Tim Hortons, baby. For the first several months of quarantine, from February to, or was it March? March to March, April, May, June, July. 5 months. 5.5 months, maybe? 4.5 months? No. Probably 5 months because maybe it was a couple weeks into March. That's nice. I guess you got a vacation? I didn't get a vacation. A lot of people had like at least 2 weeks off of stuff, and I was like, no. For approximately, yeah, because health and safety reasons and corona and stuff like that. But for 5 months, I worked the morning shift, and when I say morning shift, I started at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. is when I usually started. Meaning, I had to be up at the earliest at 3:30 a.m. and then at the latest 5 a.m. Yeah. Suffice it to say, I did not sleep much of those nights, which was 5 out of 7 days a week. But now they got me working afternoons because I'm one of the few people who don't catch a bus back home and can walk. Except my aunt's picking me up because my aunt's like, no. And I'm really glad she did because today, on her way to pick me up, there was this guy walking down the street. And we passed him kind of on the way back. He was up ahead and he was walking very weirdly. I'm actually afraid he's gonna like bust into the place because he was walking like out of a horror movie, and I literally thought he was gonna like turn his head like 180 degrees like a praying mantis and just stare at us as we drove around the corner. Because he just looked really weird the way he was walking. He was like taking wide steps like sideways but forward. He wasn't really going anywhere, but he was also going somewhere. So weird. So I'm very glad she picked me up tonight, and she does that every night at 11. Because I was, I would not have wanted to go anywhere near that guy. Milo, what are you playing with? One of your balls thingies? Okay, good on you. Yeah. It was very scary. Not the scariest thing that's happened to me. Walking back home at 11. Or coming back home at 11. I think the scariest thing that's happened to me walking or coming back home is I was talking to my mom at 11 o'clock, and as I was walking, I heard a noise that kind of sounded like a distorted kind of electronic walkie-talkie male voice saying help or help me. And I was like, I don't want to get killed by a demon tonight, so I ran back home. Turns out it was just a goose, and my first thought was, oh, like, holy fuck, I just got scared by a goose, like, in disbelief. Like, oh my gosh, why would I get scared by a goose? And my second thought was, oh my god, it was a goose. And I was really glad I ran away. But I mean, that sparked a really weird conversation I had about a goose being able to swallow somebody whole like a snake. Yeah, these live streams, they can last anywhere between half an hour to 2 hours. I think, yeah, the shortest one I did was around half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, and then the longest one I did lasted just over 2 hours, and I think that was the one I did last night. I couldn't sleep last night. I drank an entire ice cap. I had some ice cap today, but it's not affecting me as much because I didn't sleep much last night. So the caffeine isn't fueling me. It was just fueling me for work, and now it's kind of like, eh. Mm-hmm. I have not changed my phone number. Phone is right here. Occasionally my caffeine does nothing to me. Mila, one of these days I'm not going to be there to catch you when you fall. The other day, Milo scratched me in the face because he was on his cat post and I was playing with him, and he almost rolled off, and he used my face to catch himself. I'm sorry. You're just a klutz. But anyways, my energy level is kind of like a battery. I have a main battery, and then I have like a reserve. My main can only go so much on so many hours of sleep. And then my reserve kicks in, and it's kind of like I'm running on like emergency power mode. And then caffeine kind of fuels my battery a bit, but it's kind of like bad for my battery, and it's like drains quicker. Since you repainted your room, did you repaint it a second time? That is my question. Because I know I was there the first time you painted your room. Oh, it's gray. Yeah, no, I don't think I was there. I don't think I've been there since that time. Didn't I did see you? Was it last winter holidays? Didn't I see you around that time? I think so, because I got my phone just under 2 years ago in December, and I have pictures on my phone from your birthday. Then I'm wearing a weird chocolate face mask, and it looks like there's shit covering my face. I don't know if that. For a long time, it was my Instagram profile picture. Yeah. But then, like, after that, like, there was that other one where we broke that bench on accident. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Where we broke the bench. I saw it the other day, actually. I was scrolling through Facebook looking for something, and I think you had posted it going, hey guys, look at this. So yeah. Actually, funny thing about that was your phone was recording. Yeah, it was. Your phone was recording, and then the bench broke. And I saw that the phone was still recording, and I did not shut the recording off. I like looked at it, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great to look back on. You nearly freaking did. I was low-key terrified for your life, but at the same time, we were too busy laughing to be like overly concerned. And I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry I couldn't be more concerned about your life in that moment where you almost died. I have been in that situation where I'm. Are you crying from laughter? I'm like, I have breathless laughter. Okay. If it's fine, then it's fine. Okay. But I don't know whether to nod and go, yeah, I believe that, or just be shocked that you've been in so many situations. Definitely fun times. I glared at Milo when he glared at me at the same time. It's kind of funny. On another note, did you ever grow up with people not listening to what you were saying? Mustang. Yeah. I nearly died like 3 times in my life. The first time we were at the pool, there was this big mat we were on, and it flipped, and I was under it, and I couldn't find my way out, and it was only an instinct thing that told me to swim backwards. Remember them? Oh yeah, yeah. That was my next one. I was on the quad, and it flipped, and it rolled over me. And then my fucking teacher, Mr. Wilson, got me to run kickball 2 days later, and everyone was sympathetic. They were like, "Oh my gosh, that looks horrible," but I didn't have a doctor's note. And then I fell out of a tree at one point too. And the only thing that saved my life was the fact that I had caught a branch. The branches weren't even that big. Yeah. There was a birch tree in our backyard up in FSJ before I moved to the Kamloops area, and there was the birch tree. My dad had cut off a bunch of the branches for firewood, and also birch trees are highly unstable. Anyone who knows anything knows birch trees are unstable. But me being a kid who loved to climb trees, I climbed this nearly branchless birch tree. I got all the way to the top, and then the branch I was holding onto snapped off, and one of my legs was moving at the time, and my other hand didn't have a good handhold, so I ended up falling, and I reached out and I grabbed a branch as I was falling, and it stopped me for a split second, and then that branch also snapped off, and I kept falling, and I hit the ground and hit my back on something. And that might have been where the trust issues started, because I hobbled back inside, and I was like, Mom, I just fell out of a tree, and she kind of told me that I was fine, and I was like, okay, and then I left. I almost drowned. Why do I never hear about these important things? When was this? Is this a recent thing, or like you were 10 thing? Did you pass out under the water? I don't know how far behind the recording is to what I'm saying. So sometimes I have no context for anything. You were laughing the entire time you were drowning? Okay. I guess to each their own. I mean, must have been a good reason why you were laughing while you were drowning. But makes sense. Actually, I think I knew that. I think you might have told me that one at one point. The human body is weird like that. Yeah. You ever think back? Same. Do you ever think back to school and you think, like, I wish I could have done this differently, even though you know you can't change the past? You're kind of like, oh, like, for example, me, there's, like, when we did the couple talent shows that I went, hey, we should do talent shows, and everyone was like, that's a great idea. I wish I'd sung different songs. Yeah. You know what? You know what I really wish I could have done differently is I wish I had teached you less about that one teacher. You know, I wish I had teased you less because thinking back on it, like who didn't? Not that one specific teacher, but like just in general. Like I mean, I was talking about how like absolutely everyone was crushing over Badgero. Like, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not gonna lie. Not Badgero, but I mean, he was kind of cute and he had a great personality. That's nice. I wish I was still in contact with certain people. But you know, at the same time, I like in college, I formed relationships with teachers that I never had with any other teachers. And I don't know if it's because like it's just like a different experience. Yeah. Like I don't expect you to keep talking to all the teachers. That would be crazy. Like how so for it being a different experience in college? I don't know. But like in college, it's less like it's less like there's a teacher and he's teaching you things about the subject. It's more like there's just somebody more experienced there that's guiding you in a way. So it's not really like a teacher-student relationship. It's more like a ensemble That's the word we use a lot. We're an ensemble as actors. That's what they use in theater as well. And at this point got proved to me even more when one of our teachers, Rogi, who plays Mr. Young, or not Mr. Young, the janitor on Mr. Young, the show, that's his most well-known thing. And like basically everyone in Canada over a certain age has seen it. But me never watching cable has never seen it, so that's sad. But he had to go do a play. Yeah, I mentioned it a lot afterwards. I was like, guys, this is my teacher, and now I'm kind of like, eh. I wish I had seen it growing up, but I never had access to cable. I did for a little bit, but not that long. But he had to go to a play in Ontario. Yeah, how Canadian of me. I'm gonna have to say it again, even though I've already said it like 3 times. He had to go do a play in Ontario, and to that grandma's. I never lived that close enough to my grandma's. We moved far away from the rest of my family. Now I live at my aunt's. That's nice. Anyways, yep, he had to go do a play in Ontario, and we had a substitute take over for half of our modules, so about 4 of the weeks. We had him for 2 classes. 2 to 3 classes a week. We had him. His name was Raphael. I call him his. He was very picky about how his name is spelled. He's like, it's spelled with a PH, not with an F. And I forgot at one point when I was saving his number into my contacts, because we save each other's numbers into our contacts now. I forgot how it was spelled, so I just saved it as Ra, like the Egyptian sun god. I was like, it's just gonna be Ra. That's fine. But I didn't figure out until like his last week, even though everyone knew before me because it took me so long to figure it out, that he is actually still a student at New Image College, just in an older class. And he was teaching us voice and movement stuff, because his classes didn't coincide with our classes, so he could. He was a great teacher though, and I went to go see his final project for New Image College, which was a play. He did Romeo and Juliet with his class, and that was cool. I haven't heard anything about him since then because quarantine happened. But it really cemented the fact that like even though like they're teachers and they're teaching us stuff, we're still on kind of like the same level. Because one thing about actors is you're all on the same level now. And that really settled in me somehow. And now I don't even think like meeting somebody that I look up to could shake me, and I would just be like, hey, I saw you in a thing growing up and it was cool. So yeah. That's a thing. But yeah. You're vegan now? I'm so sorry I'm eating chicken noodle soup. I think you were talking about going vegan, I think the last time I saw you. That's getting cold. That's not good. Finish it now. That or you started going vegan the last time I saw you. But Um, where was I? I was somewhere. The fact that I'm eating chicken noodle soup, or the fact that I got lost? I'm two. Just chicken noodle soup is what I'm eating today. Vegan is you can't have any meat or anything from any animals, right? So like donuts are like fine, right? I mean, I'm not saying you should consist your diet of entirely donuts, but I work at a Tim Hortons, okay? No cheese, no dairy, no. I can't have dairy. Well, I shouldn't, but I do. That means you can't have skim milk. Well, I mean, you can have almond. That's not the sentence I wanted to say beforehand. That means you can't have ice caps. I mean, you could have it with almond milk or skim milk instead. Does skim milk count? I don't think it does. Who's all going vegan with you? I don't know if it's bad for you. But like, what's the difference drinking almond milk and just drinking straight water, except for its milk? But vegetarians and vegan. It's okay. It's okay. You could spend like an hour trying to explain something to me, and I would constantly be just confused because I'm like 90% confused all the time. I'm just constantly confused. Hi, Neil. Cat. Yeah, I like it too. I like how this is just basically just reminisce. Because I stated last night I was going to live stream tonight. And I figured I could just start cleaning more instruments of mine. But this is so much better. Yeah, good. Good in paraphrasing, because we're talking about someone's dying and like emotional issues and trauma and yada yada. Speaking of emotional issues and trauma, I am so sad that Chadwick Boseman died. That was devastating. I was at work and I had to call my aunt that night because there was the fire brigade was getting a whole bunch of sandwiches and drinks and stuff, and new family. Um, but I was gonna call my aunt. Oh, okay. I was gonna call my aunt to tell her to pick me up at 12 instead. And, I saw the message and I got sad. Yeah, his uncle's cousins and stuff. Now I wonder if we're related by marriage now. You never know. We figured out that, okay, this is why I'm saying this. You know how I used to work at Subway? Well, in the Subway, there was a gas station. And in the gas station, there was two, well, they were close enough to be considered sisters. I wonder if we're family by marriage now. Because these two sisters, we'll call them S and M, I don't quite know if they were related or not. But S, she used to be related to me by marriage because I think my great uncle, my great uncle's son married Sylvia, or my great uncle married Sylvia's dad, or S. Shit. I'm bad at that. It's not like anyone can track her anyways. And basically she was related by marriage into my family for a while before she and her husband got a divorce, or her dad and mom got divorced or something. I don't know. But like basically she was related by marriage. And like it just pops into my head occasionally, like, what if we're related now? What if like I'm related by marriage, or like some distant cousin to a friend of mine? Because that would be a weird coincidence. I mean, that is a weird coincidence. Yeah, and that's interesting. That reminded me of something one of my friends did. When I was still in Fort St. John, she was my best friend. Before I moved, time to dive in the water. You should. You're gonna turn into the drowned man. That's only a reference you would get if you were watching Markiplier. I don't know if you're still watching Markiplier. That was a while ago, though. Don't turn into the drowned man. I'm sorry. Give bread. Okay. What was I going? Where was I going with that line of thought? One of my friends. I can't assume things. No, I cannot. Don't assume, or else you'll make an ass out of you and me. That's, or as I like to say, ass out of Sue and me. And my mom got so upset at me for saying that because she was like, "It's you and me," and I was like, "Sue and me." She's trying to correct me, and it just wasn't working because I just wasn't going to. Because I was quoting something. But anyways, my friend. Her name's Anna. We'll call her Anna because that's Unis. Yes. I called her Anna before Frozen was even a thought or a concept. So I'm not anything. But anyways, so Anna, she broke her leg twice, maybe 3 times. But she broke it from like crashing. The stupidest thing. She was like crashing with her sister together, her younger sister, on 2 swings. They were like spinning around each other and crashing together, and everyone told her they're gonna get injured doing that. She kept doing it anyways, and she smashed her leg against her sister and broke her leg. Her younger sister was fine. Anna broke her leg. I didn't see her for a week. She came back in crutches. And I was like, what did you do? And then she had to go break it again when she turned a corner. I got off topic there. What were we talking about before? This is a random memory from like my early days. You know, it's kind of sad I didn't grow up with you guys. And I say that because, one, I think a lot of fun things could have happened in our younger years if, I grew up with you guys. And 2, when we graduated and we had that, for the teacher's speech and like, hey, do you guys remember these things happening when we were kids? I was like, no, I wasn't there. So I'm kind of sad because I wasn't included in that. That's like a big part of graduation experience anyway. You have a problem. Is it you're tired? But I could have gotten to know a bunch of other people, or at least you guys beforehand. I probably would have made good friends with Lane in elementary school. Don't think I would have continued in his friend group, but you know what? No comment. I don't see that as a problem. When I was 10, and then perfectly acceptable. When I was 10, I was into this weird genre of music, kind of like a pop rock. that's less okay, but like to each his own, question mark. I went through this phase of music where I listened to a lot of Adam Lambert. Like Adam Lambert, Kesha, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Mariana's Trench. I listened to a lot of that kind of stuff, and recently I got back into that kind of music, and I called my brother, and I was like, "Hey, do you remember that phase we went through when we were like 10 or 12, where we just listened to a lot of this kind of music?" And he's like, "No, because I haven't left that phase." Actually, my sister said he's still in that phase. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. Good to know I'm not alone. One of my classmates said that I'm the perfect example of Gen Z she has ever seen. Which was a weird compliment. Because I was sitting there talking about TikTok and about being a simp and being a pirate and like a whole bunch of these things. And basically I was acting the generalization of my age. I love TikTok too. I should go on it more and make more cosplays. But one, I don't have the time. I used to do it when I had morning shifts, and I'd do it in the afternoon. It didn't matter how long I would do things for. Nice. I'm on POV TikTok, which is stupid. I hate POV TikTok. Why does my For You page keep throwing me back there? I like seeing a lot of cosplays though. And transition videos. And I'm also on gay TikTok occasionally. Gay TikTok is like my vibe. Can you eat bread as a vegan? Wait, if you can eat donuts, you can eat bread, right? Is bread made with eggs? No, it's not. It's made with like yeast and like water. No eggs. And buy TikTok just gets everywhere. Like now there's a whole thing called buy pirate TikTok. Which is what I was simping over. Sure. That works. Simpsons. Actually, when I become an actor, my name, and when I finally legally get around to changing it, is going to be Nat Simpson. Yeah, it kind of does for my mentor. Person that comes to my mind is Simpson. Why? Because one, I hate Nat Shearsmith. It just doesn't flow together. I don't really like that last name at the moment. So I need a different name. Two, Simpson is my mom's maiden name. So I'm going to change it to Simpson. My sister told me no, and I was like, why? And she's like, you're going to get picked on for it. And I'm like, I'm going to be an actor. Okay. People get picked on for their names all the time in acting. That's one of the reasons why I'm not afraid to talk about my name. It's because I'm going to be an actor. It's gonna be known one way or another. And I never use Shearsmith anymore. I only use Shearsmith when I legally have to. Which one? Which movie is he going to be in? Okay. Why is it? I know this is going to sound a little weird, but why is it? Whenever I think of Harry Styles, I also think of Robert Pattinson. Absolutely no connection whatsoever. I just always seem to think of the two of them together. But not like together. Like, just like when I think of one, I end up thinking of the other. So my brain plays this weird jump association thing. 1 second. How can I not chew faster? Okay. Why is it impossible to chew faster? Okay. So I mentioned earlier that I was up last night ironing patches on. This one was already sewn on, this one here. Sewed that on. And then I have this one here that I also sewed on. But then I ironed on. No, I was just telling me to fucking chew. And then I ironed on this one last night. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. patch. I'm officially an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I also got this and ironed it on. It says, "Be goose and do crime, honk honk honk." I saw it and I had to get it. I'm so sorry. And then this. "I am who I am. Your approval is not needed." Why did I get it? I don't know. But I was like, it's a patch. I want it. I'm going to put it on my jean jacket. I love this one in the middle that says, "I am who I am. Your approval is not needed," because it's right above introvert. The word introvert on the back of the jacket. So that's cool. I keep thinking this randomly, and it's I gotta hand it to child actors, because anyone who can act as well as child actors can at that age is going to be phenomenal actors when they're older. For example, the girl who plays Trixie in Lucifer, and the guy that the boy that plays Five in the Umbrella Academy. Like, they're both phenomenal actors, and they're both children. Like, I literally forget that the kid who plays Five is a child sometimes, because he's just so good at acting older. Yeah. Child actors are fucking amazing. I don't understand, like, how can child actors be so good? I learned some things about the movie industry, too, in acting classes. For example, in black and white movies, like super, super old movies, most people had this weird accent that was kind of like a New York accent kind of deal, but not very. Like in old movies, they had this weird accent. Yeah, that accent doesn't exist at all. That accent never has or was an actual accent. Yeah. It became the standard accent for films and stuff when British and American people couldn't understand each other. They were like, "You need to talk like this," and they were like, "You need to talk like this." So they just settled on like a middle ground. Eventually, though, that accent ended up getting dropped. But that accent that was used in the black and white movies does not actually exist anywhere in the world as an accent that people just regularly speak. It just doesn't exist. butter. Actually, I'm curious now. I need to find something quickly. Oh, hi. Hi, C. What is she doing up this late? Well, I guess she can do whatever she wants. She's basically an adult. Um, I'm trying to find something. I don't know if it's still there, so I'm not saying what it is if it's not. Just okay. Hmm. Maybe if I try to find it on my phone. I like how one's not working, but I'm like, oh, I'll just use this instead. That'll help me find it. Yep, that's the thing. Mm, yes, it's still online. It's still online. I find it okay. So back a month ago, I didn't actually really tell many people about this. I told my sister and my mom, and I ended up showing Caitlin and Abby when I last came up because to get my braces adjusted. I did my first live performance, and it was great. We wrote our own script, and we performed it. I would not recommend watching it with your father, though. My character's a little out there. Well, as I said, I wasn't really telling anyone except for like basically my family. And then I ended up showing Caitlin and Abby when I was there because it was kind of like a spur of the moment kind of thing. Well, they were both at the house because Abby was visiting Caitlin, and I was there getting my braces adjusted for a week because I couldn't find any other buses to get me back or up in that span of time. But yes, I know. I'm so sorry. Like, as I said, I wasn't telling anyone. Like, I don't even think Cass has seen it. I'm so sorry. Like, in all fairness, I haven't talked to you in a while, and it's been a month. I know, I'm so sorry. Technically, if you want to get technical, it wasn't our first live performance. We had another one that not many people went to, but it's like the first one that kind of was more out there. But it is still out there. You can watch it. It's on Periscope, and it's called Deadlines in the Rubble. And it's basically about using social distancing. It's about a post-nuclear fallout, and like we're all trapped in a building. Oh geez, I'm sorry. But it's on Periscope, and if you can't find it by searching Deadlines in the Rubble, then I believe you can search Teach Beeb, Beeb. Okay, great. Find it that way. I don't know how to get to it from the page, but I know it's on there. I found it on the app Periscope. The app. I searched Teach Beeb, went to people, found the only one that says Teach Beeb. And there it is. One second. This one right here. That is it. Best viewed with headphones. But there's also the intro and then the cast. You're back. It's called Deadlines in the Rubble. I stuttered that so much. 1 second. What? Hello? Yo? What up? Nothing much. You're great. Bud, yep. Mm-hmm. I'm paying attention. Yep, you who? What? You can fix some. Did you type all this while I was talking? And it's only they need sounds for stuff like this. Okay. I am looking at you. There's a delay between like when I'm talking and like when like you're typing. I'm looking very hard at you right now. Okay. You're gonna be hearing what I'm saying. Going, it's been so long. Dead lines in the rubble. That is what it is called. Here, I will even type it. Don't mind my shaking. Spell. Okay, that is what it is on Periscope. If you can't find it when you first Google it, I was paying attention. I just wasn't at the moment. But as soon as the messages started popping up, as soon as the message started popping up, I was looking. I was looking intently. My Wi-Fi's just crappy, and it takes so long for this to get out into the world that I'm talking for like 30 seconds when you're typing, and I don't see it for 30 seconds or so because, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's where the chat bar is. The chat is right here. The chat is right here. How would I know what you're saying if I'm looking at the camera? The chat is right here. You're welcome. But on the subject of my my play, I can't find it when I just search it on Periscope. I have to go to Teach Beeb, the channel, and then find it from there. If you have trouble finding it, just tell me when we next talk. My phone's like in my hands. You could text me. I have no idea the wait time between when I say something and when you hear it. That's a fair thing to do. I should probably do that. As soon as I'm done my bread, I'll go to bed. I was up till 4 in the morning last night, so I should probably go to bed a little bit earlier tonight. As soon as I'm done my bread. Like on your phone to text you. Oh, are you talking about like, wait, what? The live stream's so far behind. Okay, the point is, I am going to head to bed too. I'm just gonna finish my bread and then go to bed. That rhymed. I will talk to you, Irene, specifically on Monday. I will call you before you start work. Probably end up live streaming again tomorrow night though. Okay. So have a great night, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.